What's up, everyone? Good morning. Happy Easter. Welcome to our online worship experience once again. For those of you that continue to invite people or you continue to share these online experiences with your circle of influence, thank you so very much for doing that. Also, for those of you that continue to worship with us every single week through giving and generosity, thank you so very much for doing that. You allow us to be the hands and feet of Jesus to our community. And today is Easter. Today is when we celebrate the reality of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Check out this passage, Matthew chapter 28, verses 5 through 7. Then the angel spoke to the women. "Don't be afraid," he said. "I know you're looking for Jesus who is crucified. He is not here. He's risen from the dead, just as he said would happen. Come see where his body was laying, and now go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and he's going ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there. Remember what I have told you. He is not here. He is not in the tomb. He's alive. He has risen." Easter is literally the turning point that has changed history, and it's also the day when we celebrate the fact that we can have a very real relationship with Jesus because Jesus didn't stay in the grave. Jesus rose from the dead. It's because of the resurrection. And this relationship is what brings healing to us on the inside when you and I go through difficult times. This relationship with Jesus is what brings clarity to us on the inside when we go through difficult times. It's what brings encouragement and resolve and endurance to us on the inside when we go through difficult times. And it's what brings true growth and personal joy to us on the inside when you and I go through difficult times. And when you really, really personally experience his love, it's hard to deny. When I was 19 years old, I remember I woke my dad up one night and I told my dad I needed to give my life to Jesus. And that night in my bedroom, I gave my life to following Jesus, and that obviously did not make me perfect. God knows that is true, but it did give me an anchor for my soul when life is heavy. I follow Jesus. That has not made me perfect, but it did give me a conviction in my soul to love hurting people and to show grace to hurting people and to show compassion to hurting people and to show servanthood to hurting people. Following Jesus did not make me perfect, but it did give me a resolve on the inside to keep getting back up again over and over and over when life knocks me down. Following Jesus did not make me perfect, but when you follow Jesus, you know it, and it's hard to deny when you experience his love. God's love is so real because Jesus is really alive. Let me say that again. God's love is so real, and you can really experience his love because Jesus is really alive. And so today we finish up with our Easter series, and this series has been called Find Out the Truth. Next week, we're going to have a very special communion service, and next week we'll introduce our new series. But today we wrap this Easter series up with one final word, and this is what the word is. It's the word joy. True joy. And in this study, we've been talking about overcoming the roadblocks in our life that hold us back from true happiness and joy, and specifically those religious roadblocks in our life that hold us back from true joy. Now, I've told you this over the past several weeks, and this is true. Everyone that I know and everyone that you know is on a very specific journey, on a very specific quest, and on a very specific search. And if we're all honest, the main primary search that we're all on today is we're not searching after more truth. We're not searching after more knowledge, and we're not searching after holiness primarily today, even though as people who follow Jesus and love Jesus, we are searching for these things. We are searching for truth and knowledge and holiness, but we'd be lying today if we said that was the primary search and journey and quest of our life. Today, primarily, you are looking for holiness and truth and knowledge and those types of things, but primarily over all those things and before all those things, this is what we're all looking for. Not necessarily holiness all the time, but we are looking for happiness and joy. Everyone that I know and everyone that you know is on a true journey and a true quest and search to find true happiness and true joy, because we know when we live with happiness and joy, that gives us true peace, and everyone wants to live with happiness, joy, and peace. How many of you, when you were growing up in your parents' house or at your grandparents' house, they had that one room in the house and that one spot on the wall where they would mark how tall you would get from year to year as a kid as you were growing up? And how many of you have done that with your children? We start by the time they're around 8 years old, between 8 and 16, and we start marking on the wall their progress as they grow. And it's so awesome because I've been able to do this with Jagger. In fact, I can remember when I used to hold Jagger on my shoulders, and now Jagger can hold me on his shoulders. But it was so cool when I was a kid and my mom or my dad would say, look, you were this tall last year and now you're taller this year. And you were this tall that year and then you were this tall, this much taller the next year. And when I would show Jagger, hey, look how much you grew from 8th grade to 9th grade, from 9th grade to 10th grade. When they can see the progress, when they could see the marks on the wall, when they could actually see their growth, the joy on their face and the happiness on their face, because I can visibly see my progress. I can visibly see my growth. And when you see your growth, it produces joy in our life. And so understand something. How does this growth and maturity and progress in our life happen spiritually? And how can we see it? I want you to notice this passage today, Hebrews chapter 10, verses 23 through 25. Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promises. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works, and let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his returning is drawing near. Now in this passage, we see just a few keys that can help us grow and progress spiritually and make progress in our spiritual life and how we can mature in our spiritual life. But the first thing is this: you have to understand there's a few keys that stick out that help us grow and help us see that growth, and seeing that growth will increase our joy and increase our happiness. And there's a few keys that stick out because God keeps his promises. The first thing I want us to see today is this: we need to learn how to trust God more. It says that clearly in the passage that God keeps his promises. And you know what? In our life, we can trust God. Do you remember when the mother of Moses was so concerned about her baby Moses being killed by the Pharaoh that she placed baby Moses in a basket? She was a basket case. She didn't know what to do. She placed baby Moses in a basket. She took her hands off of that basket. She took her hands off of her baby boy Moses, and she trusted God, and she floated that basket down the Nile River, where the daughter of Pharaoh found baby Moses, adopted him into the king's home, and raised him, and he became a mighty leader of God. But you understand what the mother of Moses had to do. She didn't know what to do, and so she took her hands off the situation. And there are so many things in this life that we just cannot control, and so we have to learn sometimes, because we can't control it, and sometimes we can't fix it, we have to take our hands off of it and just place it in the basket, place it in the hands of God, and just trust Jesus. We need to learn how to trust Jesus more in our life. He loves us, and he loves to keep his promises to us. We can trust him, and sometimes we just have to take our hands off this situation because I can't control it, and just place it in the hands of God and trust God with our life. And anytime we do this, this helps our faith and our maturity and our resolve grow and make progress in our life. And again, it's this growth that gives us joy. It's this maturity that gives us joy in this life. The next thing in this passage that sticks out on Easter Sunday is this. Number 2, we need to encourage each other. And specifically in this passage, it says that we need to encourage each other to put our faith and our love into action. Why? Because when you exercise your faith and when you exercise your love, it grows, it progresses, and it matures. And then you can see that growth. And when you see that growth, just like those growth markers on the wall, when we were growing up as kids, and just like our kids were doing when we were growing up, and we would mark those markers on the wall and say, look at how much you've grown, the joy on their face, the happiness that would fill their life. I'm growing. I can see my growth. I'm making progress. I can see my progress. The same thing happens to us spiritually. When we put our faith into action and we exercise our faith, and when we put our love into action and we exercise our love and compassion, it grows and it matures. And when we see that maturity, it gives us joy. And we have to help each other do that. So this is what the passage says. Let's keep encouraging each other to keep putting our faith into love into action. Hey, let's keep loving each other by loving those that are hurting around us. Let's keep loving and putting our love and faith into action by serving and feeding those who are hurting around us, and helping and accepting and including those that are hurting around us. When we start to do that together, then all of our faith starts to grow together, and you can see that progress, and it fills us with joy. The next key was this, and notice this today. If you're still with me, say I'm still with you. We need to support each other. We need each other. This is why we always meet together, because we need each other. And one of the personal messages that I want you to get on this Easter Sunday is this: we don't do this alone. We need each other. We worship together, we pray together, we serve together, we encourage each other, we support each other. We support each other and encourage each other to put our faith and love into action together, and that makes our faith grow, and that makes our love grow, and we can all see how we're growing together, and it fills us all with joy. Many of you are brokenhearted. I know what that's like. You know what that's like. We need each other. I need you. You need me. We all need each other. Many of you are overwhelmed right now. I know what that's like. You know what that's like. We need each other. I need you. You need me. We all need each other. Many of you are scared or you deal with heavy fears in your life right now. You know what that's like, and I know what that's like. We all need each other. I need you. You need me. We all need each other. Many of you are scared right now. Many of you are dealing with heavy, heavy uncertainties and heavy, heavy anxieties and major, major decisions in your life right now. I know what that's like. You know what that's like. We all need each other. I need you. You need me. We all need each other. And many of you are dealing with personal storms that's causing a lot of distress in your life right now, aren't you? Some of you are going through a lot of distress right now because you're going through personal storms. I know what that's like. You know what that's like. We all need each other. I need you. You need me. We all need each other. And the truth is this, the more we learn to trust Jesus in our personal life, and the more we encourage each other, and the more we support each other, the more you and I learn to trust Jesus and walk with Jesus in our personal life, and the more we encourage each other, and the more we support each other, then the more we all grow together, and we all make progress in our faith together, and we all make progress in our love and action together, and in our walk with God together. And guess what that does when we can see our growth? When we can see our maturity growing, when we can see our resolve growing, when we can see our faith growing, when we can see our love growing, when we can see our endurance growing, and we can see it, what does that do for our life? It fills us with joy. And when we're filled with joy, we're filled with peace. The more you grow like this, the more productive and useful you will be and you will feel. And when you feel like you're maturing, when you feel like you're growing, when you feel like your life and your spiritual life is productive and useful in the hands of God, then you feel satisfied, and this gives you two things, joy and peace. And we'd all be lying today if we said we didn't want those two things, joy and peace. So here's a question. If you're still with me today, so I'm still with you. What happens when you can look at your life and you can actually see the progress and the growth that has happened in your life? I'm not dealing with my storms the way the old me used to. I'm growing. I'm not dealing with my battles and my giants the way the old me used to. I'm growing. I'm making progress. I'm not dealing with my mistakes and my failures and my regrets and my past and my heaviness like the old me used to. I'm growing. I'm maturing. My faith is maturing. My faith is making progress. When you can see that growth, when you can see that productivity, when you can see that maturity just growing and getting stronger and it's visible to you, then that does something for your soul. It satisfies your soul. Jesus brings satisfaction to our soul, and that brings joy to our life. And when we have joy in our life, that brings peace to our life. Why? Because we can see and recognize our growth. And this is why we need to make sure that we're always working hard to go forward past our past, to go forward past our excuses, to go forward past our mistakes, and to go forward past our storms. And we're always helping and encouraging each other to get back up and to go forward. Let me say that again. We're always encouraging and supporting and helping each other to get back up and to go forward again and to keep moving forward. I need you, you need me, and we all need each other. And as we all start to grow in life and mature in our walk with God, and we can visibly see the new and positive changes that are happening in our life, well, this is what will give us happiness. And when you and I have happiness, we have joy. And when we have joy, we have peace. And this is what we're all looking for today. We are all looking for joy and peace. And the reality is this, joy and peace is made possible in our life because of the resurrection. Because without the resurrection, we would not be able to have a real, living, caring, loving relationship with Jesus. And it's this real relationship with Jesus that brings us all together today to worship together, to support each other, to encourage each other, to help each other, and to help each other specifically grow and get past our battles and get past our struggles and get past our giants. You help me grow. I help you grow. You help my faith mature. I help your faith mature. We all encourage each other and support each other, and we all flood the streets like an army of Jesus followers, an army of love, putting our love and faith into action. And when we do this, it brings satisfaction to our soul and joy to our life, and that gives us peace. And that's what we're all searching for today: peace with God and peace with other people. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. Now continue to stay tuned in for an amazing time of worship with the amazing Water's Edge worship team. We cannot wait to see you back next week. We introduce a brand new series. We love you all, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week.